So Paul and I have spent several weeks just trying to make sure that we have a presentation that hopefully is going to help you get further along in this process. Some of you that kind of have been around, you're gonna hear a lot of this, but hopefully you'll be able to hear some new things and pick up some new things. We've put it in a real compact presentation today so that you can hear. So when you go back and watch this, you can kind of go through all of the information. We're going to go over specific attributes. We're going to give you very specific things that we believe product champions have. Our theory is real simple. We're trying to get a safe strategy that's not going to make you a millionaire. This isn't about being a millionaire. This is about replacing your income in your home so that you can eventually create the lifestyle that you want and not have that freedom that you're looking for. And so really what we have to do is, it's not that you need to become a millionaire. We need to grow a steady business that you can rely on the income in your life so that your car payment gets paid, your house payment gets paid. So we want to pay for your car payment. Then we want to pay for your electricity, water, and gas bill. So as we keep adding this income, but we want to do it safe in a situation where you can do it safely so that you can have a long-term business that will grow and doesn't leave you in a perception where you can not make your house payment because you are not diversified enough. So Paul, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go through this presentation, and we'll figure out what we got. So
sounds good to me.
All right, Paul, do you see my screen at this point? Let's present to everyone. All right, there we go. Right?
I do.
You can see it?
Yep.
All right.
Let's be real with each other for a second. Looking for an Amazon product to sell seems like an overwhelming plan for a trip to Mount Everest or a jungle expedition. And I don't mean the expedition to the Amazon jungle warehouse. I mean to the real jungle. You may feel like I did. You lack confidence and you're scared to make the wrong choice because it's the most important part of being successful in an Amazon business. If you choose the wrong strategy to find a product, you will fail because everything else is based upon choosing the right product. You've joined 50 Facebook groups. Come on now, I know some of you guys have at least joined 10, and you watch 60 hours of webinars and listen to 5,000 minutes of podcasts. And some of you may have watched some of the 50+ hours of content I've created to help. Many of you have taken courses or watched some other great webinars. But all that happened was now you have a list of more things to learn, but no real support. I hear you thinking the same thing I did. Your course may be great and your webinars are full of great info, but are you going to help guide me through the process, give me answers to the questions I may have along the way, or explain in more detail the process to finding a product? Are you going to give me specific attributes to what a product champion actually looks like, what the competition looks like, what low competition is, what high competition is, how much in sales are good, how much in sales are too good? You may have been sold on the Amazon business on how you can sell $50,000 a month by picking a product that is already a hot seller, that has too much competition probably, and now you have over $1,000 worth of selfie sticks and silicone cupcake inserts, or maybe even worse. You might have $5,000 you spent on a course and you still have $2,000 worth of selfie sticks left. And yet, you're still having one big, large, giant problem after all of that. You have not picked a product champion to sell. You haven't selected a product champion yet because you're lost in the Amazon information jungle. You're suffering from paralysis by analysis. You're confused and unsure of what direction to go in and just plain stuck on picking a product. Or you picked a product and it didn't sell, or maybe you just need to pick your next product. If you want to shut down your progress and never get a product launch, then keep watching webinars about reviews, listening to podcasts about sourcing, and reading Facebook posts about pay-per-click advertising. Your business does not start until you have a product to sell. Here's some of the questions I get asked all the time. Do I need an LLC or an EIN number? No, you need a product. How much should I spend on pay-per-click advertising? Doesn't matter, you need a product. What's the best way to get reviews? You don't need them. You don't have a product. Every minute you're not picking a product, it is stopping you from the single most important goal, to get a product launched on Amazon. You want to become part of the 1% of people that actually get a product launched. Anything else you're doing besides picking a product is stopping you from getting to your goal. I'm going to give you the confidence and the knowledge to pick a product champion. I'm going to blow up every roadblock stopping you from selling your product on Amazon. What is the Jungle Book strategy? It's an Amazon business plan to create a diverse business that creates consistent and secure income so that you can live the lifestyle that you choose, whether that's spending more time with your family, more time vacationing, or just adding extra income into your house. Instead of looking for one or two big selling products in highly competitive markets, we want to help you build a business that won't self-destruct if your product goes out of stock in China or a product category is overrun with competitors. If you only have one product and it's not selling, then your house payment won't get paid. That's not secure or smart when you're thinking about leaving your job to replace it with an Amazon business's income. We want to sell multiple products, each making about $500 to $1,000, and then plan to grow those products so that we lower our risk by being diversified and committed to improving our sales over time. We want product champions. A product champion has consistent sales over a long period of time in a category that we can apply a great launch strategy and get ranked on page 2 or 3 and sell at least $1,500 a month in sales within 6 weeks, because we have a superior Gorillaz seller strategy that will give us a competitive advantage over all of the other sellers in a smaller market. It's the big fish in a small pond theory. I've used it my entire business career. Even if you're great at what you do and you're in an ocean, you're going to compete with so many other people who are just as skilled as you are, or they may even be more skilled because they have a 3-year head start and 1,500 reviews. But if you apply the Gorillaz strategy in a smaller pond, you can create better listings, unique product combinations, great customer service, with an awesome launch strategy and a long-term marketing plan that doesn't end 3 days after you launch your product. Then you will be able to eat some of those small fish and grow your business. Let's quit talking about it and let me show you how to actually pick a product with the Jungle Book strategy. The first tool we use is the Products to Avoid guide. It's designed to help you avoid products with hidden risks that you may not be able to see when you first look at them. There are no hard and fast rules, but these suggestions are definitely going to help you increase the possibilities of your success. The goal is to give you the best odds at winning by avoiding potholes that others have already discovered. You need as many advantages as you can to win. There's a 3-step process to finding highly profitable, low competition products. Let me share my screen and we'll start out with the Products to Avoid guideline. The most important part of the strategy is to save as much time as possible and get a product up and selling quickly and as safely as possible. The quicker you can get a product launched, the more likely you are to continue being successful, because only 1% of people that set out to launch a product actually get the product launched. You want to be in the 1 percentile. So all you need to do is pick a product, follow this guide, and you're going to be able to get a product that you can launch very quickly. So you shouldn't pick products up front that have unnecessary risks when you first get started selling products. What that means to me is that you have 3, 2 products already selling, and by the time you get to your 4th product, you're ready to maybe get some categories ungated and to look at some more things, some more categories that could quite possibly be much more profitable. But up front, we want to find some products that we don't have to learn a bunch of unnecessary things. As you're developing those products, what you can do is you can begin to learn some of those skills. You can learn how to get ungated. So here's the Product to Avoid guide that we use to set apart products that we know instantly by kind of looking at them, those aren't products that we want to get into right away. So there's 200 million products, so limiting yourself to some of these categories that are open and that you can sell without having any ungating, there's plenty of products out there for you to pick. There's not going to be a problem. There's no shortage of products to pick. There's millions of them. So don't worry about maybe eliminating some of these categories. You're trying to get this product up and launched as soon as possible. So the more information you have, the more confused you're going to be. So trying to learn how to get stuff ungated and how to put in flat files and how to buy receipts and send in more information to Amazon to learn how to do that, I just think is some unnecessary hoops that you don't need to jump over when you first start. So here we're going to start with avoid these categories. So you don't want to sell in some of these categories because they require product exclusivity and they may require more steps and approval, or you may need some expert knowledge just to even succeed. So we want to eliminate the most risky product categories. So if you eliminate risk, you increase your odds. Avoid types of products with packaging and higher shipping rates. As you can see, we don't want odd shape or multiple box products. Avoid the types of products that have low profitability. Products under $10 or selling under $10, to me, you can't make enough money. I would like to be typically over 25, and really, if you really want to see where I think you want your business to go, is to have a product that sells over 35 so you can always include free shipping, which I think leads to a lot more sales. So, but up front, we want to start out with lower price products because you can spend less money and risk less money when you're trying to learn the process. So we also don't want more than 3 power sellers. That means we don't want a bunch of people at the top of this thing taking 75% of the money in a category because they're dominating it so much. We don't want to compete. We don't want to get name brand stuff because the only way you're going to get name brand stuff is to do retail arbitrage or buy fake stuff from China. And any name brand product coming out of China that you can buy is 99.9% likely it is a fake product. So we also don't want to try to find stuff that's very common at big box stores. They have lots of them and lots of variety, and they can just go out and get it. You may have less likelihood that you would sell that product. I'm not saying that product wouldn't sell, but you're obviously dealing with a product that has a lot of market penetration because it's at Walgreens and it's at Walmart. So we talk about don't compete with Amazon. And when I talk about don't compete with Amazon, what that means to me is that if Amazon has 4 or 5 products in a category, there's just no reason to be in there trying to compete with Amazon, who has 5 of their own products on the front page. So those would be one of the categories we would try to avoid. If Amazon only has 1 listing on a page, well, they're 1 of 16 listings on the front page. I think you can compete with them. Kind of sometimes it tells you that there's actually some money to be made in that category because Amazon wouldn't be there if there wasn't. So, you know, Amazon is a kind of two-edged sword. If they got too many of them, I wouldn't try to compete with them. If it's 1, I don't think that's a problem because, again, you are not trying to compete with just that 1 product. You're trying to compete with all of the products. So we also don't want to get into things that have high rates of returns or product failures, electrical products, products that have difficult operation, products that need replacement parts, hazardous materials. You can't ship with FBA, and we want to ship with FBA. Dangerous chemicals, liquids. What if they leak? What if they have a product infringement on them? And so that's, again, why we don't talk about having brands. So we also don't want to get into things like glass that may break. So we just want to be smart about what we're doing, and that's what the Product to Avoid guide does. So it helps you by increasing your odds of launching a winning product. So that's the Product to Avoid guide, and now I'm going to show you something else. All right, so here's the second process in the strategy. It's going to help you save even more time and give us more specific data that we can use to make educated decisions. For your first or second product, you want to eliminate high-risk products and stack the deck in your favor and give yourself as much of a chance at winning as you possibly can, which is why we're all here. So what we use is the IVT Quick Scorecard. You can use the IVT Quick Scorecard to save you time by not looking at products that are definitely not viable products. If you use the Quick Scorecard, you can save tons of wasted time. You can find viable products more quickly than blindly searching the top 100 categories. But maybe you could search 250 products in a day, even with the IVT. So here's the picture of the IVT. And the IVT scorecard is actually a scorecard. So you can actually, if you can see here, is you actually can enter in numbers and then create a score, and that's why we call it the IVT Quick Scorecard. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the top of the IVT scorecard, and you're going to look at a product, and you're going to quickly be able to put these numbers in. Does the main category rank less than 10,000? Is the sales price between $15 and $25? If it's not, that's the sweet spot that we want. So we're just looking for products that will score high enough that we want to look more into them. We want the top 4 items to have a BSR less than 10,000. We want 2 products with a BSR ranking of less than 5,000 in the main category. We want the weight less than to be 1 pound and no bigger than an 8x8 air shipment size, because we need to keep the cost down. And we suggest that you use an airplane on the first couple of products so that you don't have to learn how to become a great shipper. There's a lot of hurdles and a lot of potholes in shipping on a boat for the first time. So we also want to keep our costs down, because you can buy less amounts of product to put them on an airplane than you would on a boat. You're going to have a much larger MOQ. And that's fine, and we can get into that later, but let's start out and not try to get ourselves into a bunch more complication, because what's our number 1 goal? To save time and get a product launched as soon as possible so we beat the 1%. We want the 3 best-selling products to have about 150 to 500 reviews. I'm not saying that these top reviewers can't have 800, 900, but I don't want to see 4 or 5 people with 1,000 reviews, 800 reviews, because those are big giant monsters who I guarantee you, if you look at the product category, they're owning 75% of the sales on the front page. So there's no way for you to get any distribution and to be able to get on that second page and get the kind of income that you want to go into. So you can just eliminate that product. We want a merchant fulfilled product, hopefully, with a 10,000 BSR or under. That tells us that there's a possibility for a weakness, because if people are actually selling a product and they're shipping it from their house, we'll have a significant advantage in that area if we're shipping it FBA. We want to see if the ad space is full. You know, are there similar types of products on the side of the ads, and are people advertising this product? So that tells you that there is some market for it, because people are willing to spend money to get people to buy their product. We want 2 product seller rankings below 4.5 on the first page. That doesn't mean that that's a have to happen, but what it does is give us an indication that there may be some weak spots inside of that category, because people have lower expectations. You might see things that are in that product that you could exploit and maybe do something like that. So that's why we're looking for that. And so what you do is you go through and you add all these in, and you go 10 for this one, and you do a return, and you do 0, 0, 10, 10, 0, 10, 10, 10, 10. We want to go 0 here, and then we go them all up, and we come up with 40. So what we're looking for is anything 70 or more. So we're saying that quickly we'll be able to look at these and evaluate. If it's missing 3 of these, or certainly more than 4, I'm not saying you can't go look at a product that scores 60, but I definitely wouldn't get a product that has 4 or more of these things missing, because you're probably looking at a product that's not going to qualify, and you can just eliminate this and move on to the next one. And what I began to do is I'll show you some software that you can quickly look at this, you know, almost instantaneously without ever having to click too far into the product. So here's some of the things at the bottom that we also outline, which we talk about and give some more explanation of what's in here. So those are some of the things that you can see, which is what sales price is and more weight, and the explanation of why that matters, why the ad space is there, and I kind of went over all that. But this is the initial viability test, and it's the second part of our strategy to find a product champion. We spent the first part of our time talking about the products to avoid, that we're trying to avoid products with unnecessary risks when we're first starting out. So we moved on from that, and then we shared with you the IVT scorecard, which is the initial viability test. And what we did there was we tried to look at products and get some basic attributes that product champions eventually will have. But what we do is we quick look at those things so that we can evaluate it and decide whether we want to move into the third part of the strategy, which is the product champion scorecard. So it's another 16 questions that have varied weights that we apply to those based upon some things may be more important than others. So we applied some weights, and then at the end we'll also have a score that we put on that. And then if you combine the two things and you've went through both of those scorecards, you have a pretty good idea if this is a quality product. We suggest you find at least 3 of these that match the Product Champion scorecard. We suggest you go into the Product Champion scorecard with at least 5. So you want to have 2 to 3 that you come out, because once you start sourcing and try to find this, you may find out that you can't make enough of a margin or whatever it might be. So don't just stop yourself with just one product, or you could go one product all the way through and then restart again. I suggest that you're doing it, you kind of keep your eyes open, because you can look at that IVT scorecard pretty quickly and make an evaluation. So here's what the Product Champion scorecard consists of. So we want a supplier that will agree to an MOQ that lets you invest between $1,000 and $2,000. So we want to keep that MOQ low so we can do a product test, which means we're going to get a product in, we're going to try to get it launched and get it up for as little as possible to check whether or not we have any sales. We're going to run some pay-per-click advertising, be able to get some sales, and find out whether we have a viable product once we have picked it. But we're not going to dive all in and spend $5,000 on a $2,000 MOQ on a new product. Can you private label or white label it easily? Is there room to improve the product? Can you add variations, higher quality, additional options? Or the next big one that I've added to this is, can you bundle something with it? And one of the things that we've been doing a lot is, which we take a product and we add a complementary product to it that's very inexpensive. But when you have a product that has 2 things and it's bundled, and it's basically the same cost as the other product that you're competing against, you have an advantage because no one will be able to jump on your listing. So you'll be the only one listing your product, so you won't be competing on price because of that. Can the product be bundled? We talked about that just a second ago, but can it be sold as multiples? Can you add bonuses? Are there several sellers on AliExpress and Alibaba wholesale? Their national brands doesn't dominate the product listings. So if it's all Chef Boyardee, which obviously isn't something you probably would compete against, but Huggies diapers or whatever it might be, barbecue sauce, or any type of product that is a Weber grill. So you don't want to compete with these big name products. Does the product have multiple keywords? So can it be listed multiple ways so that maybe you can get your listing in on some of the less searched keywords? Are there 3 to 5 bed listings on the subcategories top 10? So are there people in there that don't have great listings, and you're going to evaluate the listing as how their pictures are, how their bullet points are, what their description's like, the quality of their pictures and things like that. How much does the item cost plus shipping can be purchased for less than 30 to 40% of the retail price? We want to have a margin closer to 40% if we can. The least you want to be down is 30%. Is the product durable and likely not to break? Are the Google trend searches moving pointed upwards? So you run a Google Trends and you see what the keyword terms and see whether they're moving upward. Are there more than 8,000 searches a month in merchant words between the top 3 keywords? And we really maybe want a little more than that, but remember, any of these things, and what I've given people is the ability, if you feel like there's some portion of this number that you feel like matches, go ahead. If you go, hey, listen, this is a 5, but if it's got about half of that or whatever. You're just trying to score this thing and get the best educated decision that you possibly can make. Is the item not easily purchased at box stores? Competition rank is consistent over 6 months. Can you track it manually or use RankShark, Azon Tracker, or Camel? Does the eBay sales offer a benchmark to indicate a demand? So you check into eBay, you see what their sales are there, because you can get an exact number of how it's selling on eBay. Now that doesn't necessarily give you the right insight, but it definitely is something that you can check, and that's why we don't give it tons of rating. Is the product dull or boring and not a fad, trendy, or fashion product? We try to stay away from sexy products. So you take all those attributes. So a very important one is that you can get a low MOQ. Very important. Are there sellers on Alibaba and AliExpress so you can secure your payment? We're going to show you about that here in just a second. The retail price, can you make it profitable enough? If you're on the lower end of 30%, you might want to score it as an 8. Use some of your own judgment here. I can't give you every single item because there is no necessary perfect way to do this. This is just to give you a broad range instead of just a guess. So think about this. If you perform all these tests on your product and you get down and you answer all these questions and they have some number of those, you are way better off than most people who analyze a product. This is an actual system that you can go down and come up with some ideas and some numbers that matter. So once we do that, we're going to go down and we're going to look at those score totals. And then that goes, so it's below 50, a walk away. 50 to 60 is possibility. 60 to 70 is pretty good. 70 to 80 is a product champion. And above 80 is a super product champion. So if you can find a product that has all that, gets through the IVT scorecard, and you get here, we feel like you've definitely started finding a product champion. You want to start looking at that product seriously and maybe find 2 of those products and kind of make a decision which one's better. I feel like the one that would be better usually is something that I can get a small MOQ, I can get it up, I can brand it with another product and bundle it with a complementary product, put it up, get it listed, use some pay-per-click advertising, do some promotions, some giveaways, and then see how that product does. See if over a 3, 4, 5 week period you can get some sales. If you get some traction, then what you're going to do is you're going to back it up with a second order and then move forward. So this gets you to that point. Now, there's one big exception here that I want to tell you about. So all of those are a part of a strategy that kind of have to do by hand. So what we do is we used to use this way, and you can use this still in your life and in your business, and it will certainly give you results. But what we've decided, and what many of you guys have known, is that we use a product called the Top 100 Analyzer, which is part of a software program called AmaSuite. And we use that to even supercharge, super blast the amount of time that it takes to find a product. Basically, the IVT is a small version of what the Top 100 Analyzer does. It goes through in lightning fast, and you can search thousands of products at the same time and instantly find things that are viable. And then we're going to move into our other product we use, which is called Jungle Scout. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how we use the Top 100 Analyzer next. All right, so here's the interface to the Azon Top 100 Analyzer, which is part of the AmaSuite software. I know many of you have purchased it who are listening, or you've definitely heard about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how we supercharge your searches and increase the amount of products that you're searching for, that you can possibly search for by using the IVT. You may be able to search for 250 products a day, but how would you like to search for thousands of them in a day and get way down into niches and to get way down in subcategories? That I'm going to show you how you can do that, and that's what the Top 100 Analyzer can do for you. It will dive deep down in and find products that don't have a lot of competition so that you can get in there and start earning some of that money for yourself. So here's where we start at the front of the analyzer, and I'm going to go through this very quickly because many of you have already seen it, but maybe I'll teach you some new things, and hopefully we're going to find a product and share what we find, and then you'll have an idea what something looks like that's a great product. All right, so we're going to start out, and the Amazon site we're going to use is the Amazon.com, not Amazon UK. We're going to go to the best sellers this time. Instead of new releases, we're going to go to the best sellers. Now, instead of doing a quick select, we do not use that. We use the manual select. And so what we do with the manual select is we go in, and right here what we do is we press the categories button. And once you do that, what's going to happen is the interface is going to open, and it's going to open up actually Amazon.com inside of the Top 100 Analyzer. So it's actually inside of it. So what we're going to do then is we're going to start adding top 100 categories to the software so that it can analyze it. So here we are at the front of this again, and what we're going to do is we're going to start delving deep inside of these categories. So we're going to press Home and Kitchen. We're going to look, here's the top 100 in Home and Kitchen. We're going to add that. There's probably not likely something we get in there because it's so competitive, but we'll add it in there anyway. And you drop down and you press Add. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into Kitchen and Dining. And we're going to add some bakeware items. Let's go in here and add the top 100 bakeware items. Boom. Then we're going to go down and look. It goes baking and casseroles, cake pans. Let's add cake pop mini cake pans. So we're going to add all those. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of how you can delve deep into this. And then look, it goes down even further. So now we're down into mini donut makers. So here we go, we're going to add those because you never know inside of any category what might be there. So let's go back out into the main category again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in and find another category. Back out at the Amazon bestsellers. Now we're going to pick another category, and we're going to go into home improvement. And this is just to quickly show you how you can add stuff very quickly. Let's go to storage and home organization. Let's down here at the bottom right, you're adding those top 100. You're going to go to closet organizers. You're going to add all of those. We're going to add tool organizers. So we've added that. Now we're going to go back out again, and we're going to go out to any department again, and we're going to go into baby. So here we are into baby. Let's go into safety. Let's add safety in there. Let's go back, and we're going to go through, let's see what's in. Now, I don't want you to disclude any categories, because if you do, you may or not know what's actually in that category. There may be stuff that you didn't realize were in there that just have a keyword that matches. So don't disregard any lower category. We're going to add that one in. Let's add in some accessories. All right. Seat back protectors, whatever those are. So here we go. Rear-facing mirrors. So these are things in baby. Let's go out and let's go into pets. We go back out again, and we're going to go down and we're going to go to pets. Pet supplies. So let's go into dogs. And so you can see, watch how deep we can go. And we're going to go into the top 100 in dogs, and we just added that. We're going to go into grooming supplies. And we're going to add all the grooming supplies. All right, so you can see we just go through this thing quickly, and we're trying to find items and categories that make sense. And you can search any one that you want while you're doing this. So we've added that. Now, once we've done that, we press done, and we go back into the top 100 analyzer. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press this green button, and it's going to extract a bunch of this data for us. It's going to pull down all of these products in there and give us the statistics and the data that goes with that. So we press the button. So here's what happens. You press this green button, and it pulls the following data, which it gives you the number of reviews, it gives you the rating of the product, and it gives you the sales price. These other parts of this are not necessary right now, and we'll go look at those in a minute. Some of those are meant for the affiliate sales that this product used to be geared towards. So we don't care about what the list price is or the savings or the commission. So the things that we're mainly looking at are reviews, ratings, and sales price. So what we're going to do is we're going to now do the magic of this software. We're going to filter out certain things. So we're going to add filters. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin to filter these out. So we've taken the sales price, we want it less than 12 and greater than 25, and then you add another one in. So you can continually add filters. And so the next thing we're going to look for is we're going to look for reviews. Because we know if we find a product with a great BSR and it has a lower number of reviews, it's more vulnerable for us to go and be able to catch up with them. So we want the number of reviews less than 500. You can change that and move it around. You can do 750, you can do 1,000, you can do 100. It depends on what kind of product you think you're looking for and how those things apply and the combination of them that are in the product champion scorecard. So the number of reviews, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a product that is a lead to a category that would make sense. So we're looking for one product that's kind of like the golden nugget that sticks out of a category, and once we find that, then we're going to go delve in deeper. So what we do is we apply these filters, and we have over 1,200 items that we searched in that little bit of time. We apply that, and instantaneously add or subtract these and pick which ones you want. And you can change this. So it's sales price less than 25, a sales price greater than 12, reviews less than 250, a main rank less than 7,500, and a weight less than 18 ounces. So we apply that. Now, you can change these and move these around and go to 10,000. Ultimately, this is, again, finding you a lead into a product category because you found a nugget in there that gives some weaknesses. It gives some ability to be able to predict that, hey, there's a product inside of that category. I should go looking at more because this one is ranked in a way that I may be able to compete with them and get myself on that second page and make myself $500 to $1,000 a month in profit, and then work my way up from there. So what we've done is we've applied these filters, and that's the magic, one of the pieces of magic of the Top 100 Analyzer. Now it does something really neat next. So we have all that data that we've coordinated down, and what we do is it creates a interactive HTML document when you press that button, and the preview down here at the bottom. So it creates an interactive right here. It creates a preview, and there we are inside of Amazon, and it's created a document that tells us all the things we've done. Now you can save this document and use it later and come back to it as you find all of these great products that have some real potential, because we've coordinated out things that are not attributes of a product that is a product champion. So we know that we did the weight, we know who we did it shipped by, and you also, we didn't do it, but you can also select who it ships by, and you could only have people with FBA, you could only have people with Amazon, or you could just have and search fulfilled by merchant, which always is a great thing, because if you find a product that's fulfilled by merchant and it has a great BSR, and you can go, if it's fulfilled by merchant and you have an FBA product, then you're going to have a significant advantage over them, because you have a product that is being shipped from Amazon instead of being shipped from someone's home. So Amazon wants to treat you more fairly because they want you to deliver the product from them ultimately, because that gives their customers better service. So when you go into this interactive HTML document created by the Top 100 Analyzer, you can go down through here and you can quickly look. Now remember, we can apply our products to avoid by just looking at these things real quick. Okay, here's a mechanical object. It's a shake maker, so that's not something that's electronic. We're going down here and looking at a Rolly vertical egg cooking system. It's not something we want to mess with. Here's some glass. We don't want to look at glass. So there's a lot of stuff as we go down here that you can see that are definite possibilities, because they're small products, they're under 18 ounces. And so we go down through here and we're looking, and there's 60 products that we pulled out. As you can see, as we go all the way down here, we're probably not going to mess with food products for dogs up front. I don't like, I'm scared to buy products for pets in China. As we go down this page, let's look at some of these. So I think I saw the typical. Let's go look at the barbecue gloves. So now all you got to do is you press this button, which is the ASIN number, and now here is that product. We did nothing. We went from point to point to point. One of the things that I would tell you right now that I notice about this is that I'll guarantee you that's more than 200 characters in their title, and on July the 15th, Amazon's going to suppress all the listings that have that in it. So if you have a product up there, I think there's going to be just huge changes on July 15th, because there's a bunch of people not going to do that, and they're going to lose their rankings, they're going to just disappear, and people are going to be skyrocketed to the top of Amazon's bestsellers list because they have the right things that Amazon wants, which is 200 characters or less right now. So we look real quick at this listing. What I do is I get on here and I look, okay, they've got some great keywords here. We go down there. It looks like their bullet points are well put together. We go down to their product description, which is done with a little HTML. So those are the things that first I like, okay, that listing's pretty good. You can see what they've done is they've bundled this. And those are the things that we like to do as well, because their listing is going to stand out because they've got a bundle in there. They've got a great, I love to see this, I love to see a infographic. That also allows you to have an infographic, allows you to be able to copyright your material, which again gives you an advantage, because if you don't have this copywritten material in here, you cannot copy my product. Oh, look, here's a coupon. So they actually have a coupon in their pull-down menu. Another great technique that I love. And then we have some great pictures. So they've spent some time on pictures. The reviews, we didn't look at that real quick. The reviews. Oh, they've got video reviews, so that I can tell you this is what's happened. This is a very experienced seller. What he's got is he's got these video reviews. He's got picture reviewers all the way up already. And he's got a bunch of fives. So I would say that he's working with a review group. Because look, you got 5s, 5, 5s, a 4. Now let's go in and find out what he's doing, and you can see where he started out. And here's back in May. He started out the price of $24.97. He's now, and you can see his BSR is going up and down, and he's actually got that thing all the way down to. He was at one point, he was in 4,700, 4,600, but his price is down to 17.97. So real quick, what I would do is I would take this and I would look and I'd go silicone oven mitt set, because I feel like that would be the main keyword. I like to search all the way in all categories, because if we miss some, I want to make sure that we get all of them and kind of have an idea what the competition looks like. So I do a search real quick, and I go down and I start looking at how many silicone oven mitts there are. We also know that there are barbecue gloves on here as well, and I would imagine the keywords are probably going to pull that up. And so you can see there's lots of them. And I always like to jump to page 3 quickly and see how many are there. So we keep going. So there's obviously a lot of barbecue gloves, and these are actually just pulling silicone oven mitts. Now you can see there's some mixed in there because it's not, they're actually more real oven mitts. So we're seeing that right now, just in here, we're already finding lots and lots of oven mitts, and we're on page 5, and we can already see that there are still there's still people on page 5 with 196 reviews, 111, 144. So there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of reviews, and obviously we're still at page 6, and we're still seeing them. Lots of them, and lots of them. So we go down, and we're at 7 pages in, and we're still seeing them. Now if we go up here, and we go silicone barbecue gloves, which is the same product, and now we look, and there's going to even be more of those. You can see up here, there's 1,800 results for silicone barbecue gloves. So there's more in addition to the oven mitt section that these are in. There's another, we're on page 3. Look at them, they just keep coming. And this is page 3, 300 reviews, 200 reviews, 56, 246, 333, 225. So I'm just scanning through these and looking quickly. This to me, and I think everybody would agree out there who works at Amazon, this is not a product you want to get into because it's so competitive. Now let's go back and actually look at what it looks like in Jungle Scout so you can get an idea what the flow is and the money looks like inside of Jungle Scout. What we've done is we went back to the front page of the barbecue gloves, and I pulled up Jungle Scout on the front page. And all you do, it's a Chrome extension that is in your browser that will give you the following things. It comes up, it gives you the product name, the brand, the price of the product, the category which it's in. As you can see, some in patio, lawn, and garden, some of them in home and kitchen. It gives you the rank, the main rank of that product right then. It gives you the estimated sales for that product on a monthly basis, and it also gives you the estimated revenue. It shows you the reviews, it shows you the rating, and then it as well shows you the seller of the product. So it gives you all that information on these products in a specific category, and you look for silicone barbecue gloves and mitts. The other thing that Jungle Scout does for you, it gives you the results of how many results for searches that are on that page. So there's 15 on this barbecue glove page. There's an average sales rank of 12,150. So if you take all of the products on that front page, they have a sales rank of 12,000. So that means almost every single product is below 10,000. It's going to be very hard to jump in there in any time soon, and you're going to have to spend lots of pay-per-click money and probably a crazy amount to get clicks to be able to get your product sold. So I would say again that this product is very oversaturated. You have our $18 price tag, which you can figure out that these gloves are going to be between $3 and $4, $5. I kind of looked at it just to kind of get some ideas. So there's even a huge margin in here. And the average number of reviews on this page is 287. Now, there's some people that have obviously moved up in here, and that may be just today that they've got some stuff launched. If they don't get some traction real quick, they're going to fall away. And usually, one of the things I've been talking about is Amazon will give you a push towards the weekend and your first week that you're selling your product. I call it the gift from Amazon. It's the first 7 days. They're going to give you some organic searches that they normally would to see if you'll convert for them. Now we go into the second page real quick with what the second page of this thing looks like. And I've got some other tools that I use on my page that I'll share with you. Let's go to page 3 and kind of see what that one looks like. And so again, you just press the button, and here comes Jungle Scout again, giving you actual numbers. Now, these actually aren't actual numbers. What they are is an algorithm that Greg Mercer created in Jungle Scout, and we're actually going to have an interview with him with Greg here very soon. And what it does is it takes an algorithm and it actually goes through and takes a bunch of different data points. And I think he said he had 1 million data points that he used to be able to calculate this. And he keeps getting better and better at the actual revenue sales that he's actually able to predict. So we looked at page number 2. And also you can arrange these in any of these orders: number of reviews, estimated revenue, estimated sales, and rank. So 34,000 on page 3, you can see that the price is going down. The reviews still on average are 223. You can see some of these don't have any, but let's look at the revenue. So the revenue is there's still somebody crushing it. So there's still a bunch of people, but down in here, could you get on there? Maybe. This guy's got 225 reviews, and he's only doing 420. Do you think he's buying reviews? So between oven mitts and all of the places where the categories that barbecue gloves in, I would say this looks like a product that has too much competition. Let's go back to our report. In our report, let's look and see what else that we have. We decided we're not doing glass because it competes. So let's look at, what did I see here? I think I saw a dog harness and some pets. So some of you like pets. Sorry, I'm having to scroll through this quickly. There's a dog harness down here that I think I saw in the pet area because we search pets as well. So let's look at this, the dog harness. We go into the dog harness, and so we look real quick. Let's look at so the first thing we notice is he doesn't have all his pictures. Pictures that he does have are probably from the factory. So it's not a great looking listing by any means. His bullet points are normal. You can see his price, and I'm going to show you what this tool is. This tool is actually called Keepa, and I'll go through it here in a little bit. It shows you the average price that the product is. It shows you the BSR, and you're able to look at. And this is called Keepa software, and you can find that on the group or the Chrome extensions area. So Keepa software, and you can see it can show you the price change and shows you BSR over a period of time. This shows it from April. So April on, it shows you what the price is, and so you know that this has actually been out there a while because it's been selling for some consistent period of time. Now, if we go in here and we do a quick jungle scout on it, I like sometimes just to run that quick jungle scout and see what this guy's doing. This guy's doing $5,000 a month. Well, let's figure out, let's go real quick, and this is how I do it. I jump in and I go over here, and I'm going to go, I clicked the link out of there. We'll go over here, and we're going to then take car safety harness, and we're going to search it. Car safety harness for dogs. Amazon gave a suggestion. So we look here. There's several of them. Let's go see what kind of money is in this category. So we use, and this is how we do it. We use, when we get into Jungle Scout again, and it takes a second to pull it up sometimes. So let's look at the estimated revenue as soon as it runs at all. So the estimated revenue starts out at $78. So on page 1, we're already down to $78, $800, $900 on page 1. We go down, we look at page 3. Let's see what they're doing on page 3. Run it again. On page 3, you can already see that there's no revenue at all on page 3. So I would say this is a product that doesn't have enough competition. And you can see it quickly. We can go through this. So we go back to our report again, and let's see what else we got. Car seat protectors. And what I'm going to show you is this is a product that we've actually looked at before, and I know that it's a product that I feel like the numbers are good on it, so much so that we're actually doing a actual product purchase of this, and we're going to walk people through this and show them exactly how to source this product and how we got to it. So let's just go right into that one. And we can see that they're called kick mats. And so we'll jump right in, and let's just go in and search kick mats out of the gate, because I want to show you what these numbers look like. So you can see there's some consistent products here. And one of the things that I like to look for, and so we're going to go on page 3, and we still see that there's some changes already happening where there's kick mats, but there are not as many of them. and there's mixed in. So that means they're running out of kick mats already on page 3. So that means there's going to be less than probably 75 to 100, because you see other ones. But you can see they're already mixing in other things here. Mix, mix. So they're not actually kickback seat protectors. So what we do is let's go back in and run Jungle Scout on that. Now what's happening is there's another piece of software that propagates, and it's called DT. I'm not going to be able to pull that out of my head right now, but it's another software that's called DT Sourcer, I think, or DT Pricer. And what it does is it allows you to do this to get product information, and it shows you what's inside of the listing. And you can quickly look at that, and then it also gives you the best sellers rank and where it's at and position that. So let's run Jungle Scout here. So we've run this on page 4, and you can look down, and these are not products that are not the things that we're looking for. So there's really there. The first sale that we start getting is down in here. There's one, and it's doing $800. This is page 4. So let's look at page 2. We've run Jungle Scout, and what you can see on page 2 is the revenue is evenly distributed at the top. There's some guys doing a little bit of money, but it still continues to go down. And we go down into an area where it's $500, $600. They got 25. They got 9 reviews. And I feel like we could definitely, within a pretty quick period of, for sure, no more than 6 weeks. And sometimes I think I could probably rate a product in here on the second page with probably less than 3 weeks. And with a good launch, you might end up there very quick. Let's go to page number 1. So we run Jungle Scout on page 1, and you can see there's a guy on there doing $31,000, and it says he has 18 reviews. I'm going to say that they pulled that wrong, but if so, oh, you know what it is that he's got some car seat background and tablet holder, and he's selling his price. He must be running out of product because it's not a $97. So what he's done is he's run out of product and he's priced his number up. And you can see the money's pretty evenly distributed. And I think maybe in a short period of time you might be able to end up on page 1 and get in here pretty easily. And that's where your money's at. And you're going to start out on page 2 and move to page 1. What we're going to do next is we're going to see if we can source this product and how much we can source it for to see if it matches any other criteria. We've jumped from Amazon, which we found a product that's selling. We're going to actually look at Jungle Scout and see the kind of money that it's doing. And we actually found a very similar product. So here we are on Amazon, and this is it's a Kickback car seat protector. It's selling for $17.97, and let's see what it's doing. So it's doing $4,500 a month. It's got 70 reviews, which I think you could get to reasonably quick, and it's got a rank. And so it's doing that kind of number. So what we want to do is I then want to go over and quickly look at AliExpress to see whether I can get a small order and do a test product. Get it up there and see whether we put some pay-per-click on it, whether we can gain any traction by creating our own pay-per-click, getting some reviews, and kind of getting this product launched, but getting it launched for inexpensive so that we can check it out and make sure that we have a product that's viable. Maybe we're wrong in our judgment, but if you can get through that, and now you've been in AliExpress, and I've actually searched up this product. Now, we've actually negotiated with the supplier, and we've got the price down to $3.50, including shipping. And what they're going to do is they're going to ship us a minimum of 50 we could buy, 100 of them, 300 of them. We could buy whatever number we would want. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy 100 of them. So we're going to end up spending about $450. The product cost is $350. And now we'll go over and look at what kind of money we can make. So if you put a price at $17.99, you come out with $3.70 that's going to cost you to put that product together. You take, let's call it $4. So you go down from $18 to $14, and you got $3.50 in it. So you're going to be able to create a margin of about $9 to $10 with this product, and it's the same product. And you only have to buy 50 as a minimum we've negotiated, And you can jump up to 100, or you could jump up to 500. Now, I would imagine if you source this directly from Alibaba and you were to get 1,000 MOQ, you could probably get this thing for $1.50 to $2. And I don't think that that's a problem, but let's make sure that we have a product that's going to sell first before we go investing all of our money. I would rather have you take, with $3,000, I would have you rather test market 3 or 4 products and see if you got any traction, and then go in and spend more money. The worst case scenario here is you got $3 in it, go and put it online and liquidate them and sell them all for $5, get your fees paid, and you break even, you get your money back, and you go do it again. That's the magic of the Jungle Book strategy, that you're not putting all your money at risk at one time. We want to test product that goes out there, and we use pay-per-click, we do some giveaways, and we see if we can get any traction. So that's what we've done. We're actually going through this product. This product's being ordered, and we're going to actually list it online and figure out how it does and give everybody the advantage to see how we take a product from start to finish. Now I've pulled up AlibabaWholesale.com, which they're going to also allow you to get minimum MOQs, so you can still start that product test to make sure that you've got a product that can sell before you invest all your time and money in them. And you can see they have lots of products. These are $5.80. There's several ones on here. You can go down and you'll see that the prices change. And you can still, a lot of these, get smaller MOQs, $4.48. Now you can see that's a different material. You can also see this kind of material. You see this. I like this one. Sometimes I like to look at those. I almost debated getting this, because now all of a sudden a mother can have her milk in there. You can put some cold drinks on a trip. So that's another one. It also protects. They've got tissue places in there, which I thought was a really neat thing. Then there's this one that has the basic of a organizer again. And as you go through these things, you can begin to see that you can get smaller orders. Here's one with a pull down for a laptop in the back. So you can find something that fits in that category, get the price that you want, and some of them you can get the exact same product on AliExpress and also Alibaba. So now you're able to do this test product thing, and I think that that's a smart way to get started. Here's a couple other things that I use to kind of quickly go in and test whether or not I like a product. And here's merchant words, and these are how many estimated searches are going on inside Amazon. If you look here, there's 800 here, 3,000 here, 1,600. So it has lots of multiple keywords. One of the things we look for in the product champion, the front seat organizer, which probably isn't the same product, but you know what, that may be something you use as a keyword to get some links to it anyway. 800, 10,000. But that's a front seat, but you can get in there and maybe use your keyword to be able to get you some traffic from that too. Over the seat organizer. So if you walk through here, police car seat organizer. I don't know why that may be something you want to look at. You always can find ideas. Car seat organizers, 3,200. So there's 15, 20, 30,000 searches a month on merchant words for that. So there's demand for it. We look at Google Trends, and we kind of see what the trends are. And you can see car seat organizer doesn't get a search a crazy amount, but it stays pretty consistent and goes up and down, and that's probably the holiday areas. And so we look at that. We also are able to go back and look at the calculator like we did earlier, and you can check and see if there's any margin in there. And then we have the Keepa software at the bottom, which is Keepa software. It's a Chrome extension, and you can see. Now, I also looked this up on Camel, and on Camel, it shows that this product only started selling in March. So from March until July, he's already doing $4,000, and I don't think he has a particularly great. He's using the product photos from the company. He doesn't have anything special here. He's done some good work, but you can always tell that this product can be penetrated because of the number of reviews and those attributes. So that's us going through how we get a product, where we find a product, and the things that we do to actually get a product, and how we use the tools that we have. Now, you don't have to have Jungle Scout, and you don't have to have AmaSuite to be able to run this process. That's what those IVT forms are, and the product champion will give you a very similar result, but it's only going to be able to do smaller amounts. So the reason we like those other tools is because we can quickly go through and find our product and move on, get it sourced, and get it up and running. We believe we can get this car seat organizer up in probably 35 to 40 days from the start. Now, we may even be able to get up within 2 weeks.
So that's it. That's the Jungle Scout strategy. We're going to come back here in a minute, and we're going to go over some more searches and answer your questions. Paul, what do you got to tell him now?
Hey. All right, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. Excellent. Absolutely rocked it again. Okay. Well, I just want to bring up a few things if I can. That was great. But that's half the problem, I think. That was great again, and I've certainly seen your webinars a number of times. I've seen other people's webinars, and going through all of these systems, all of the processes, is great. But there's one problem: you still can't pick a product. And I know some people out there have already got some of the tools. I know some people in the chat. I've been looking at some of the questions. A lot of people are going to buy the tools because they're essential. They're an essential part of the business. But once you've got the tools, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to understand how to use them, and therefore it's even more confusing. All right, you've got the tools, but I don't really know how to use them. And what's the end result? You still haven't got a product. You know what I mean? And that can be quite difficult. Honestly, great. You've done a fantastic walkthrough. And that is one of the key elements within certainly your webinars that I've been watching for some time. How to use the AmmoSuite software, and particularly the Liaison Top 100. Now, when I first started using that, I got confused. Yeah, I didn't really know what categories to put in there, and so I didn't know how deep to go, and sometimes I was getting confused on the filters. I was missing out some of the filters. Consequently, I wasn't sure of the results that I was guessing.
Hey, Paul,
using that software. Yeah,
Paul, got some people. Let's just try to. If you're having any problems, you can log back in and out, and sometimes that helps. Let's definitely make sure that we're. Some people may be having a little problem here, and so just go ahead and continue.
Okay. I hope you can hear me. I'm eating my microphone to make it a little bit better. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is AmmoSuite's great, but it can be a little bit confusing, and if you're getting results where you're not absolutely 100% sure, you're not going to pull the trigger. And therefore, you still haven't got a product, and that is a big problem. And I think that is half the problem. It's probably all of the problem. You're still scared. You still haven't got the confidence, regardless of how many tools you're using, how many webinars you watch and listen to, and how many people you've got around you. You're still actually scared to actually make that move. You mentioned it earlier in the start. It is important. It's one of the most important aspects of the business. Getting that right product. Well, actually getting a product up and running. If you haven't got a product, you're not moving. You haven't got a business. You need a product in order to sell. You can't sell nothing. And that's a big problem. Having that fear factor. With respect to, is this the right product? Right, the tools have shown me, but I'm still not sure. I'm still not confident. I tell you now, when I first started, some of you already know, I paid the big amount. Right? I joined the group. Okay, 7,000 people when I joined. I paid 4,000 for whatever it was at the time. 7,000 people in that group, and I felt left behind. I felt. It's all of a sudden you get thrown into this community. It's huge. It's not a swimming pool. You've been thrown into the ocean full of all of these seasoned sellers, and you see them posting, I made 300,000 this month, or you see the badges coming up. It's within that group. You've got little badges, and there's. First time I saw it, I was like, wow. A little bit intimidating. Made $1 million this month. That to me is, when I first started, I was like, I can't even pick one product. Let alone think about making all that money or getting a whole raft of products up. You know, a lot of people posting on there saying, yeah, 2 products are on the way. So I'm working on 3 bundles at the moment. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. I can't even pick a single product. I've paid all of this money, and I'm still confused. You know, and I'm still unsure. I was there. You know, and like I said, we're in that huge community, 7,000. I think it's up to 10,000 people now. But I felt alone. And the only reason I managed to get through that is because I had a mentor, the guy that actually brought me in. He was beside me. If I didn't have that, if I didn't have anybody to work with, to bounce off, yeah, I think I'd have just given up. Now, since I've been working with you, Rob, you know, that is exactly what I've had, and we bounce off each other a lot. You know, and it's having that knowledge that somebody's there, and you can actually ask that question. You can actually bounce ideas off, and just get that confidence. You ooze confidence, right? You ooze confidence. You give other people a lot of confidence. That's certainly helped me, you know, throughout this business. And it's one of those things where within the huge community, you're still alone. You can still feel alone, you know, and that's wrong, you know. And I'll tell you another thing. I was intimidated. You know, like I said, I was seeing all of these posts coming up. You know, we're rocking it. We've been in business now for 4 months, you know, and we're just hitting the 25,000 a month target. You know, at that time, still didn't have a product. You know, and it's really a case of, as a newbie within this business, just starting out, there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of questions that you really want to ask. But me, in my case, I was sort of afraid to ask, and I dare say some people here today are maybe in that position. You know, think, I can't ask that question because that's a silly question. It's too obvious. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what the answer is. Yeah. So what do? You do what I've done. You do what you do. You go through these webinars. You go onto the Gorillaz website, yeah, and you pull down the videos, and you think, yeah, the answer's in here somewhere. This key, in order to get me over to this next hurdle, is here somewhere. So you start going through all of the videos. And Rob, I don't know how many videos you got out there now, Rob. How many hours and minutes have you got viewable?
I think I counted it up the other day, and there are 100 hours of videos.
Right. Okay. Me personally, I haven't got 100 hours to spend going through all of the videos to try and find the 5-minute snippet that I know is in there somewhere. You know, I just want to go back over it. I just want to be able to hear that again. I just want to watch that walkthrough again that you've done. But I've got to find it, and I can't remember what video that was in. I can't remember what hangout that was in. I can't remember what webinar that was in. It's in there somewhere. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And a lot of people, you know, I dare say some of you there now are probably thinking that as well. And it's having. And I know, Rob, you offer this service, and you've been doing that for some time, where you're doing this one-on-one service. And I know for a fact that some of those people that have been working with you, that you've been helping out, after your one-on-one session, after that coaching call, they've gone away with a lot more confidence and actually potentially just got that product almost instantly. Maybe after months of procrastination and sitting on the fence, so I'm not sure. Am I right?
Well, I think that is absolutely right. I see it happen. So, you know, at the end of the day, I only have, you know, so many hours a week. I work with people, and I work with people all over the world, to tell you the truth, but I only have so many hours a week which I could possibly even talk to anybody. And then, you know, it doesn't matter. At some point, the time has some value, but I don't want to do that unless somebody wants to work, with me personally, and that's not what this is about today. So what Paul has done is Paul has taken all of this stuff and put it together so that you could present it to everybody, so it's not such a large volume of stuff. Hey, Paul, why don't we share with them the page, and we're going to show you what we put together. So I'm going to share this with everybody. So basically, we've done a lot of what we covered today, and so we went through and we edited this stuff down and put it in because Paul said I can't go through all this. So what we've done is we itemized this down into much more presentable sections. So right here, so we have everything from setting up your business. We've got these great documents, setting up a Seller Central, too much, too little, and these are workbooks that look. Here's what they look like. Give me 1 second. I'll take a second. So here's what a workbook looks like. So it's got, you go down through it, and
basically what it is taking one of your webinars and breaking it down into a finite element of just that section. So here, what you're seeing there on your screen is basically setting up your account on Amazon Seller Central. Now, maybe 99%, maybe 100% have already got their account set up. Or maybe someone's come along here today, or maybe someone in the future is like, you know what, I really want to get going. Wouldn't it be nice to have that walkthrough? And that's what we've done. And not just on that, we've done it on basically everything in order to find your product.
So as you can see, I mean, these workbooks are all, pretty thorough. And so you're able to go down and follow the workbooks. But you're able to, all right, so we go up in here, and so then you can see inside of that, there's a too much, too little or a video. And so you can go, we've got a Facebook community, and then you can download the workbook right here, and then you can watch the video. Hey, how about that? That's a real trip to the Gorillaz jungle.
I love it.
So one of the first things I do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to see how many searches are in for this thing. Because if there's not enough searches, this is merchant words. So let's call we're searching for 11, and it's just an easier keyword to maybe get into. Now also, so then what I would do is I would be done with this. I'm going to go in.
So anyway, that's what the inside of the section. We go through AmaSuite, and they're just more condensed. We go through Jungle Scout. We go through the initial viability test, so you don't have tab. We go through, we have a bunch of essential tools that we use, and I showed you some of those. And then we've got a whole strategy that we talk about and how, we're going to try to develop and find products. And then what we've done is we've created some bonus in here, and so there's sourcing, which goes through everything that goes in, and it goes in and searches suppliers, and there's videos, and there's going to be a workbook. And then here's the magic of what all this is about, and here's the boot camp. So here's some of what's going to actually happen. And Paul, you want to explain that to him? Because you're the one that's talked a lot about this. So explain to everybody the live boot camp part of this.
Yeah, one of the issues that I've had in the past on any of the training or any of the courses or any aspect on trying to learn something is I've been on my own. Okay, I've had one guy, even though you spend all of this money, even though you're in this huge community, yes, you can reach out. Yes, you do get answers. But essentially, there's no one really live at the end, and it's Now, what we're trying to do here is basically what we're going to have is 16 hours of live webinars over a 4-week period. Okay, so you've got full access, you've got question and answers. You can send in those questions and you'll get answers. We can go through all of your issues, the issues that you've got. Let's address them. Let's get rid of the roadmap, or let's get rid of the roadblocks, so you can actually get to the end and get that product selected. That is what I was missing. That is what is needed. And that's basically what we're going to do. Well, basically, okay, here it is. Now, we're going to lay this on the table. What we're seeing here is this boot camp, okay? And we're going to offer this up for a 4-week period, right? And if you need a product, and if you're stuck, or if you just want to fine-tune your process on how to do that, each of these modules in there is a takeaway. You can come back to it. You can use it. It's a lifetime. Yeah, it's there. You will not get stuck. Yeah, there are no more excuses. You will find your product. But we're there to help you. We're there to help you. Like I said, we've got access. You have access. Yeah, we're going to have these live sessions. We're going to have 2 live sessions a week. I haven't seen that before, and this, I think that is great.
Well, here's one of the funny things about this, is that, you know, when you listen to these webinars and then these guys are like, hey man, our show is worth $25,000 if you add it all up this. Like, that's the goofiest thing I've ever heard. Okay, these courses don't add up. I don't care even if you added ASM up. Well, you know, this workbook is worth, you know, $400. Well, nonsense. Okay, you know, that workbook may be worth $15 or $20. You know, it's not something, you know. And then also, you know, the problem with those courses is they're never talking to you. Okay, here's the booklet. And in Paul's case, here's the booklet. Go figure out. And then on their website, they have this opportunities list on there. And the opportunities list is, hey, look at these. And I'm telling you, I looked last week, and it was selfie sticks on here. So, I mean, anyway, I don't need to make comments because there's a million great things about ASM that come after that. I just think there's a big difference between, you know, getting into a market that's so crazy and trying to come up with that. I love the launch strategy. I love all the other things that they do. But anyway, the great component is that we're going to meet 4 times a week. You know, that's what we're going to do. I mean, I'm sorry, we're going to meet for 4 hours a week. We're going to be able to put you in a situation where you can talk to us and answer questions. We've been doing this already. Here's what the deal is. I'm going to give it to you, and you guys can all decide if there's some value in this. That's the deal. All the cards in the world on it. So that's what we've done. We pulled together $197. You know, I think that's enough value. I'm going to meet with you for 4 weeks. Our goal is to get you a product launched. $197. We're going to work with you. We're going to put our hands with you. We're going to answer your questions. We've got a place in there where you can send us emails and ask us questions during the week. You know, we're going to be available. So you're going to get to watch the over-the-shoulder searching and sourcing videos of actual product. So a Facebook workshop group, AmaSuite, training that you're there, the navigation documents, the initial viability test. Ease your path through our, you know, with our essential tools. So we're going to meet with you, and we're going to try to offer you something that's worth it. Here's some people that have worked with me. I know they've almost on their own sent these testimonial stuff. So, I mean, that's what we got. You know, if you want to read that, I'm going to give you a link here. So it's $197, and that gets you 4 weeks. And the reason is I'm not charging to be able to get the money to be able to spend as much time as I can spend with it. It's just, I mean, it's just, I mean, I only got so many hours, man, and I'm doing, I mean, in 100 days, I've done 100 hours that I just put out there and let everybody hear it. Well, I mean, you and I understand when I would do one of those presentations, it would take me, you know, 10, 12 hours of my days. So that's one of those things. So the problem is I only have so many hours. I mean, and I get requests. I mean, people want to work with me personally, but to do that over 4 or 5 weeks with it's one person, I got to charge. I mean, I got to charge $750, $1,000 to go through that, and that's a real number. I promise you, I get requests every week. I have six people that I'm personally working with right now. But then again, if I do personal hours with them, now all of a sudden you got another 24 hours. The bottom line is I can't do it. If I'm going to be able to help, and that doesn't mean I'm going to take away all the stuff that I do for free as webinars. I mean, we're still going to do those public webinars. So I'm not trying to take away that, but I can do 1 or 2 of them. So that's what I'm saying to it. I'm going to give you the link. If you're interested in getting it, it's okay. I'm going to put this webinar probably back out there for, you know, 4 or 5 a week, so you can change. The reason we're going to try to shut the doors because we just want people to get in there. We're going to do around 50 people in the shop, so it's not like there's 300. So we're just trying to make it so the group can be small. You can guys all interact, and I'm going to push on you. I'm going to push the Magic 3. I'm going to do everything I can to get you to launch a product. You know, I mean, that's our goal here. I'm going to help you make a decision. I'm going to kind of force you to make decisions because we're going to risk $500 to $1,000 to get a test product up. The best way to learn is to be on the spot. Okay? So here's the number. Okay, so I've worked out one of the areas that we went into is that I actually have some videos in there with a developer of AmaSuite, and he walks through the product with us inside of the course. So, you know, the full-on price is $198, and that's with my $100 discount. Okay, but the deal is why not do this? Is it in here? Why not put yourself in a situation where you can use AmaSuite for $37 for 90 days? It's $37. It's not like you have to spend the $198. I mean, spend the $37. You have 100% money-back guarantee on Jungle Scout or AmaSuite for 30 days. You don't like it, you don't want to do it, you know, don't worry about it. But you also, Jocelyn's $197 for 4 weeks. So you can get a $37 version of AmaSuite. It's 3 months. I mean, 3 months you could then cancel it. I mean, every 3 months they went $37, but 3 months if you still like it, if not, stop it from going next. We're going to start the course on Wednesday. We're going to kind of go through a walkthrough of all this again, and then we're going to open it up, and then we're going to have a 2-hour then, and then we're going to go on Saturday, and we're going to try to arrange them and work with everybody on it. So AmaSuite, $37, $86 for Jungle Scout if you want to have those. Now you also cannot get them, and we'll work with the IVT and the product champion scorecard. So we'll use that, you know, as a way in which you can do it without these. And then, you know, listen, I'll work with you guys some. If you find a product and you want me to run Jungle Scout and give you the numbers on the category, that's no big deal. I'll do it. I just want you to be able to pick a product and choose a product and make a decision. Because if you want to do this, I just want you to be serious about doing this. You know, let me tell you, here's how this works. The Gorillaz masterminds, what I'm sure lots of you guys are in. So in there, I have people ask to get in there, 250 people, right? Oh, we want to be in there. I'm serious about my business. I want to, you know, and so, you know, all of a sudden they'll first get in there and they'll put a bunch of posts in, and then all of a sudden they're ghosts. There's about 25 people that participate in 250-person groups. Remember what I said? 1% of the people who start to do this actually don't get there. So the purpose of this is for you to get a product launch and make a decision. I mean, either you're going to be in this business or you're not going to be in this business. Either you're going to quit watching 75 webinars or quit listening to podcasts and quit overloading your brain and actually have a business. Because as long as you're doing that, you're not launching a product. And launching a product gets you in the 1%, which means you can continue to do this.